Tawney follows him out there playing his 150th. Well, the Adelaide Crows have not won 3 games in a row since season 2003. So, look, they've won only, well, 3 of their last 13 road matches. So that'll be daunting for them to think that coming up against a so informed team such as Sydney.
Yeah, although they do play well here. They've actually beaten Sydney here more times than Sydney have beaten Adelaide. So this doesn't hold any fears for them, this particular ground. I think most of those stats on away trips will be to Melbourne and to Perth.
One of the men looking forward to a challenge like this would be Neil Craig, the coach of the Adelaide Crows. He's with Jason McCartney.
Neil, terrific performance last week. How's the build-up been for this week?
No, it's been good, Jason. It was a good performance. Our form in 3 weeks has been pretty good. It's just a really important day for us to continue that on.
Yep. And what do you put in place to counteract the Swans if they start getting those numbers behind the ball?
Oh, I know we've had a bit of practice at that, but I mean, that's nothing new. I mean, that's happening in our game now more and more, so it's up to us to adjust to that.
And Kenny McGregor was terrific last week. Does he get first crack at Barry Hall today?
Oh, it depends how they set up. We've got both McGregor and Rutten back there, so we've got some flexibility.
Good luck, Neil. Thank you.
Neil Craig there, Jason McCartney just running along behind him. He must have felt like he was playing it. He's no fuss, is he? If you want to interview him, you've got to keep moving. Let's take a look at the Adelaide lineup now.
And he mentioned McGregor, sensational game on Treadray last week. Whether they put Bassett or McGregor on Barry Hall might depend on how far away from the goal square Barry Hall plays, but it's a pretty good unit, the Adelaide Crows team, and their midfield. When you talk McLeod, Rashuto, Goodwin, Edwards, you're talking about one of the best midfields in the comp, and that's why they get it forward a lot.
No doubt about that. There is Jason Tawney on screen playing his 150th today. Look, telling you a little bit about how the Adelaide Crows play. Scotty Welsh leading out for the ball there. He's been very handy for them once again. Inside 50s, the way they bring the ball in, these 3 boys on screen now, Rashuto, Goodwin and Matner, are in the top 10 to round 3 of inside 50s, forward penetrations. And all 3 of them are exceptionally long kickers of the ball. So you know that when they get the ball somewhere around the centre of the ground, they're going to kick it 50 metres plus inside the forward line.
And Matner perhaps coming off the best on-ground performance last week against Port Adelaide. I said perhaps because Rashuto won the showdown medal, but Matner was sensational and could well have won it.
Jason Tawney on screen there, as I say, he's 150th. Barry Hall becomes the first player ever in the history of our game to win 2 matches with a kick after the siren. The second one was last week when he took on the Brisbane Lions and got the free kick and popped the goal through to win after the siren. The first time was several years ago when playing for St Kilda, round 22, up against the Hawks, his last game with the Saints, and that, well, deprived Hawthorn of a double chance in the final series. I remember that one very well, Dwayne.
No wonder you do remember it. 156 games, 346 goals, Barry Hall, and he seems to be getting better by the minute. There is the Swans lineup. There is one change. Lewis Roberts-Thompson out of the lineup. David Spriggs, so a small replaces a tall. And they've got Dempster named at centre-half forward. Big task for a bloke playing just his second game.
Mickey O'Loughlin there. Well, Dempster's mainly a winger, but he is a very tall boy. Whether they use him as a decoy, Adam Goods, named during the week at centre-half forward, could press back. Let's have a look at their forward line. Now, the great thing about the value out of their forward line is that better than 1 out of every 2 times they go inside forward 50, they kick a goal. 56% of the time they get a goal from a forward 50. Now, Eamon Buchanan has become a very, very good goal assist player. Nick Davis has kicked 5. O'Loughlin hasn't played, but we know he's a star. And Barry Hall's kicked, he's 9 so far this season and just gets roughly 6 shots at goal each week. Well, Tyson Edwards and Michael O'Loughlin both started their careers back in 1995, and fittingly, in season 2005, round 4, they both played their 200th. Degrees. Well, Dwayne, you and I have already bowed and worshipped the great man. Let's welcome him now, Dennis Cometti.
Well, thank you very much, just the same. It's nice to be here on what is a very warm day. Now, Adelaide won the toss, and they're going left to right.
Let's find out how warm it is down at ground level. Good afternoon, Jason McCartney.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Dermot. Good afternoon to all our viewers. Look, it is pretty warm down here. It's 26 at the moment. That's what they expected the top would be, but I think it'll get a bit warmer. Things to watch out for today will be Paul Roos and his interchange. He uses the interchange more extensively than any other coach in the AFL, using it 61 times per game. Also, key Crow playmakers, Andrew McLeod and I'd say Mark Rasciuto. Watch for them to be closely monitored by Brett Kirk and also Jared Crouch. Roberts Thompson is out of the selected Sydney side. He's out with a sore hamstring.
Sunday
Call,
football.
guys.
Thanks, Jace. Away we go. Jolly thumps it forward. Matner kicks well inside the forward 50 for the Crows. So good last week. This is Crouch. Comes away, looks to midfield, pinpoints the ball. Maxfield, the skipper, penetrating kick well inside the forward 50. McGregor knocked it to ground. Spills out good, slipped over. Rutten knocks it away. Here's Hall running away from his own goal, at least initially. We've got a whistle, though, and a free kick is coming back to O'Loughlin. Bassett is ropeable. And now 50. He had enough rope. Trudges back. And O'Loughlin. Dream return. Point blank range. My wife could kick it. He's got it.
O'Loughlin, he gave 200. And he got a gift from the umpire there. Good way to start. Goal to him from the ball up. Edwards couldn't break free with it. Well tackled was Thompson. And going nowhere, Maxfield made sure of that. 33 years of age now, Stewie Maxfield. And one of the three captains in the AFL never to have won his team's B&F. There's Richie Vandenberg and Kane Johnson from the ball up. Jolly couldn't break free. Still in the middle of a mess of players. Kirk tried to get a toe poke away. Shirley at the bottom of the pack as well. Now Johncock, handball out somehow. High bomb in the direction of Henschel, thumped away from him. McLeod, the Superman, around the body. Can't bring it around enough.
Kirk
Only
isn't well.
behind.
Andy McLeod there.
Dempster to bring it in. Saw Kirk try and kick it out of the middle. And I think kicked the opponent's leg. He's moving better now, but he was hobbling when he got up. Barry out of the back pocket to centre half back. This is
Run out
Bolton.
wide if he wants to go out there.
Bolton does that. Choice of two on the outer side. Crouch has got it. Now he uses Davis. So good early last week. And again in the last term, really made a difference. Hall gathers the bouncing ball. Rutten did well, knocked it across the line. The boundary throw in. Early going, opening term. Sydney led it by 5. Everything going on there. Hudson directs it down. Shirley. Edwards. Rasciuto couldn't control it. Now Bolton, Jude Bolton, sets it up towards full forward, off hands. Here's a chance for Goods, galloping in and kicks another one. Used the decoy and finished it off himself.
Goods. In fact, the first game of Aussie rules he ever went to was when he turned up at the Elizabeth Oval to sell hot dogs from the hot dog van, and he liked what he saw from the ball up. No one can break free with it initially, and the umpires found a free kick, and it goes to Rasciuto, who won the showdown medal last week after a game-turning performance against Port Adelaide. Spearing pass, and the ball will come back.
Jolly's hurt.
And are they holding it up because he's in the hands of the trainers, or?
Don't think so.
Oh, look at the Swans already. It's just Jolly coming off. It's given the Swans a chance to get 18 men behind the centre circle here. That looks nasty.
And we haven't seen any injuries since the circle was brought in. From the kick forward, little shifty handball out is good. Finds Riley. He got it from Rutten. He kicks long towards half forward and ball's up clear of Welsh, close to the boundary line. It was touched before it went out of play. And we'll get a ball in with Jolly having a sit down.
Almost to Summer's Day here in Sydney. You can see the crowd still arriving in the background as Ball pats it down. Shirley could have been held. In fact, it's going the other way, is it? No, it's going to Shirley. He's got it. About 35 metres out against Jude Bolton. Clear enough too. Not that. It was initially that hold on the jumper. So Shirley got a couple last week. Not a noted goal scorer, but he was dangerous on the forward line on occasions. Did a very good job, as did most of his teammates last week in that demolition of Port Adelaide. Adelaide making a better start to the season than most people would have figured. They trail at the moment by 11 points. It'll take a good kick from here. He's about 15 metres in from the boundary, but he should kick it. Oh, yes. Works back left to right. Terrific kick.
In warm in Adelaide. Bounce to restart play. About 26 degrees at the moment. And Bolton of the Jude variety takes it out of the middle. Hall beaten for it this time. Well played, Rutten. Dished off the handball. And again, the Adelaide Crows look lively. Although held up initially was Tawney. Goes long. Tries to get the kick towards Perry, but he couldn't grab it. In fact, it was Doughty that kicked it forward, and will get a ball up on attacking 50 for Adelaide. About to make a move. Starting on the bench for the Adelaide Crows, Skipworth, Van Berlo, Begley and Biglands from the Burl up. Unable to break free Buchanan, and the boundary line beats them all, and we'll go down to that boundary line. Jason McCarthy.
Yes, Wayne, look, Darren Jolly is getting his left ankle assessed as we speak at the moment, so hopefully it's not too serious, and we'll keep you updated with that.
Look nasty. Boundary throw in, 60 metres out then.
Nick Davis free on the back of the pack here.
Edwards, Shirley, Goodwin slings it out. Matner lays it off. John Cock definitely around a would-be tackler. Little chip down towards half forward. Riley is out number 3-on-1. Got an obliging bounce. And that's a pretty good result for the Crows as Davis drags him across the boundary line.
Now, people look at Nick Davis and they see him kick 4 goals and a half sometimes. There's the Swannies' last 5 games, picket fence. And they'd say, why doesn't he kick more goals with so much talent? Well, there he is now on screen. Pushes into the back line on occasion to swell the numbers.
Kennelly got it from Bolton to Ball. Chopped down by Welsh. He was slow to get up. It was rather crude. Now the umpire going across. Williams has come to remonstrate. There's no report in this, but watch it again.
He went pretty low though, trying to get underneath the armpit then. I think he's pretty safe.
I think they'll look at that.
They'll look at it, no doubt.
Open hand as well will help.
The ball clearly distressed, at least initially. Lays it off to Barry.
Until he handballs off.
Kicks it up towards the wing. What's a man supposed to do? Coming in is Crouch. Sock is off the ground. Maxfield runs onto the loose ball, can go over the top to Buchanan. No, goes longer, still down towards the pocket. Indiscriminate kick in the end. Rutten came up to meet it. In goes Bassett's body. O'Keefe beats Hall. Hard man to bring down. Lays it off to Ablett. He's easier, and he's taken down by McGregor. And we'll have a bounce right on the 50.
Well done to Rutten. That's twice he's just thought, no, I'm not going to be intimidated by the presence of Barry Hall. I'm just going to watch the ball in flight and run to it. Second time he's led Big Barry to the ball.
Ball is okay. Got the knockdown. Williams gets around. Hammer to Buchanan. Wants the left foot. Can't get onto it. Kirk just kicks it away. Didn't even have a look where they were. Won't make the range. Good punch, Bassett. Barry Hall takes them all on. Gets it out. Hoping for Jude Bolton. He missed it. Davis handballs out. Craig Bolton tucked in. 45 out. Kick smothered by Goodwin. Davis goes in again. Jude Bolton spots a target. That kick smothered by Welsh. Craig Bolton through traffic. Kick grounded. And what an amazing part of play that was. Doughty gets it to the outer side wing.
Riley in space. Looks towards half forward. Goes towards the pocket. Across comes Perry, but it runs away from him and goes across the boundary line.
And no wonder that they were able to stop that goal. You have a quick look, just count the numbers at the other end for the Crows. They had 14 players within 51, 52 metres of goal there, so it was very heavy with Crows traffic. That's why the Swannies couldn't get a shot away.
Boundary throw in. Ball seems to be okay. Perry in front. He cuffed Perry, did Ball, and now Perry should get a free kick. And there's a man down in front of the umpire. That's Crouch.
Can't injure Crouch. He's uninjurable.
Tell that to him. I think they fell on top of him.
He's a friendly fire.
That's right. Ball is just angry, and whoever gets in his road at the moment is going to cop it. Starts with Perry.
Oh, it's a decent whack too.
That's right.
Left thigh into the rib cage.
Not a good situation for Crouch, just camped in front of the boundary throw-in, and the big fellas come and fall on you. Here's Perry, 52 metres out. Not his best effort, or is it? That's tight. That's not bad. That's good. Adelaide get their second goal.
In Perry's hero as a kid was Stephen Kernahan. And there was a little bit of Kernahan helicopter about the kick.
Wasn't his best, was it? But very effective.
A very good miss.
As Sticks was quite often. Effective if unorthodox. Crows lead by a point. Hudson twists out of trouble, does well, gets the takeaway. Henschel's direction, he couldn't get back in time. Edwards starts, caught, shrugs a tackle. Perry might get another crack at them here. Fumbled, gathers. Skipworth tucked into the pocket, centering ball. Welsh one-on-one. Craig Bolton wins out.
Having a good season. To Barry. Takes a while to pick it up. They've got the numbers. Back to Bolton. Bolton runs up towards half-back. Nothing much on offer. Sets it high towards O'Loughlin. Well done by Bassett. Worked in front. Knocked it to his own advantage. And then was cramped for room to get on his left boot. And pops it out of bounds on the full.
Claiming to the umpire, it was touched on the way through. Mickey O'Loughlin comes off the ground.
Comes the short one from O'Keefe for Nix. It may have been touched by his right boot because it was unconvincing, the kick, I've got to say. O'Loughlin off the ground, got that early goal. A fortunate free kick. Here's Nix. Sydney trail by a point at the moment. O'Keefe surrounded. Matner did well. Now Williams. Here's trouble for the Crows. Well done, Johncock. Ran him down from behind. McGregor against the flow. Doughty gets it away to Matner. Matner drives it up towards the wing. Skipworth behind ball. Played it pretty well. Wouldn't let the big man come back. Now he should win on the ground. Well, a good result for ball eventually as the ball goes across the boundary line. And will be thrown in.
Skipworth has trailed around Paul Williams for the last few minutes. We'll see if it goes over to him again. Bolton comes near him now.
Ball back into play. Bigland's into the ruck now for Adelaide. Kirk couldn't get it away. Neither can Rashido in the end. Ball nearly ricocheted back to him, and Maxfield takes it out of play on the wing.
Tell you what, how would you like to be Jared Crouch, though, just on this pack that's about to form for the throw-in? Every week he gets an absolute gun. He's got Andy McLeod this week. You know, every week he gets a Nacamanis or a McLeod type player.
Free kick from the contest, and it will go to ball. Speaking of Crouch, he wore a black armband, as did Ty Kennelly last week. The passing of the Pope. They go to church before games every Sunday, and the games are here at the SCG. Off hands, Shirley got up to Doughty. The mark's been paid though to Tawney, and it'll come back. Tawney will take the free kick for Adelaide, or the mark from defensive 50.
And Ty Kennelly from Southern County Kerry, I think he came from Ireland. If you didn't go to church on the Sunday there, Dwayne, you're in a bit of trouble.
Shirley's in trouble. He was run down by Jude Bolton. A brilliant tackle, and that is one of, well, probably his forte. Jude Bolton goes long with the kick in the goods and whole direction, but McGregor, as he did last week against Tredrea, rock solid.
Won that battle last week. Helped win the war. McGregor in the bright sunshine of the SCG. That's what's up ahead. Little chip. Good one. Johncock inconvenienced momentarily by Dusan. Has this at left half back. Such an important game for both these clubs, coming off good victories. Awkward one there for Thompson. Can he get away? Interesting, the disposal. Bassett tries to soccer it forward, spills across towards Rutten. It's not coming out though, locked in there by Nix. Illegally, says the umpire. It's against Nix. Let's go down to Jason.
Yeah, as we saw last week with Mark Rashudo, halfway through the quarters, comes to interchange for a spell, and his shadow in Brett Kirk followed him straight off.
Same time as well, Jason. 9 minute mark, 9 minutes remaining. He'll come back on for about a 3-4 minute stint at the end of this quarter. Good one with the ball.
Got it from Bassett, gives it towards Perry. Bounced off his chest and out of play. And we'll get a ball in just outside attacking 50 for Adelaide. Sydney Swans kicking the first 2 goals of this game. Adelaide the last 2, and they lead by behind.
It's amazing. Both teams are literally playing the same style. Get an extra 1 or 2 under the half-back line. Not very deep in defence, just the half-back.
Short throw-in. Handball down to Skipworth. Ball thumped clear. Chance here. Good little handoff. And Bevan is away. Has a bounce. Thought about it. Went to Crouch in the end. Long, high kick towards half forward. Buchanan down there, off his hands, Tawney. Loops the handball out for Johncock. He chips the ball wider. Thompson's got it on the outer wing and he's away in space.
Thompson settles now. Kicks well inside the forward 50. Perry works in front, almost the mark too. Loose at the back, picked up well by Matthews. Away to Bolton. Over the top, Kennelly is running. Looks back towards the middle. Bevan took it well, no easy mark, that it was arriving quickly. Oh, Bevan's hand pass certainly didn't arrive quickly. Back to Kennelly. Kennelly to Bevan. Bevan runs forward of the wing, looks inside the forward 50. Coming back is Matner. Takes the mark. Well done, intended for O'Keefe.
And the last two times the Swans have gone inside forward 50, the ball carrier running towards their goals. The forwards of the Swans have run away from him, looking for space behind them. You've got to have at least one person meeting the ball carrier.
Matner to the wing. McLeod just assessed it beautifully. Peels away from Crouch, lays it off to Biglands. 70 metres from goal. Goes long towards Perry. Very Perry conscious down there is Barry. Surely he was hanging on. No free kick. Dempster slides in. He's immediately claimed. Ball spills loose. Shirley, as he got the football, didn't have it for long. Williams did well to Matthews. Away to Bolton. Craig Bolton around the outer side. This is Spriggs, a late inclusion.
Gee, that was so well done by Leo Barry then. He was all out of the game there, but he still managed to effect a spoil.
Spriggs, the ex-cat, found Goods, who found Nix, who gives it to Williams. They're away here. Hall's on the move. One grab. Free kick, surely.
That's the first time, as I said, for the last three entrances inside forward 50, a player has at least made a motion towards the ball carrier. If every forward runs to the same spot, you're in trouble.
Do you count that as an inside 50 if you got the free kick on the line?
Ooh, where was his...
Check.
Yeah, contact. Well, he actually made the first touch inside, didn't he? Let's have a look at his ratio here. Since 2002, from this position, just beyond 50, 6 shots. 3 have gone way right.
Thumbs up from the statisticians to an inside 50. There you go.
All right.
This kick to give the Swans back the lead. It's long, it's straight, it's into the padding. Everybody missed it.
Well, Bigland, shouldn't he been penalised then? It was up and down, and the ball cleared his head. He didn't get his arms up. It hit the post behind him, the fat bit. Johncock goes in short. Tawney. They'll bring it away. Begley. Back to Tawney. I think it was Downey earlier. Tawney once more. Got it from Shirley. McGregor run down.
No talk.
No, Sydney's ball. Nix descended back in.
Running
alongside
away
the centre circle. Sends it long down towards Davis. Called out of it by O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin's marked 40 metres out.
Well, I was red hot on that, but Mickey O'Loughlin changed his lead. He ran back to goals and then came up. And geez, he's the first one who, besides Barry Hall, the last one who definitively has run at the ball carrier. Great tackle. Nix came on before O'Loughlin halfway through this quarter. He had a very good game in the second half last week. Ready, Nix?
Tackles so far, Sydney 10, Adelaide 6. Tackling has been good from both clubs. O'Loughlin looking for his second goal of the term. Nice. He's kicked it. Biglands thumps it down towards half forward. Davis scuttles back, gathers it. Matthews is on. He bypasses him and goes to Hall. Why not? Searching lead from Barry Hall, pushing up the ground. Comes back towards the middle now. Plenty of Swans there. Spriggs lays it off. Clever by Davis. He can run to 55. The kick not good, though. It wanders down towards the pocket. Bassett gets across. Rutten is on for the short one coming out. Takes the mark. Goes over the top to Edwards. Cruising past Prosciutto. He can go to Biglands. Rebound opportunity now for the Crows. Biglands takes off. Kicks from 65 down towards full forward. Perry's in front. Juggled attempt at the mark. Knocked away by Barry. Charging in Skipworth over the football Bolton. And the ball is pushed across the boundary line. And will be thrown in.
Ian Perry, last two. How important is it to be clean with your hands in a marking contest? His last two contests, he's got great feel on the ball, but he's juggled them, and Leo Barry's been able to effect a spoil. Had he one grabbed that, clearly wasn't being touched or harassed by his opponent when it came.
You mentioned earlier, he is a confidence player. Welsh caught by Craig Bolton. Brilliant tackle. Ball knocked free. Spriggs straight down the corridor. Buchanan's got about 4 to beat here. Can't beat them all. Crows away. Riley. Prosciutto from 50. That's a long launch from 50. There's that fat bit again.
I'd ask you, Jason, down on the boundary for a quick kick across the body then. That went about, it would have travelled 50 without hitting the post. Is there a bit of breeze going that way?
Dermot, you are spot on as always. There is a slight breeze favouring that end, so it was Mark Rashudo, as we know, is a very strong kick, but a bit of breeze added to that.
Dempster gets it from Barry.
So they've got a slight assistance with the breeze here, find themselves adrift by 5 points, the Crows, but they just need to, as I say, keep settled in this first quarter.
Kennelly, smothered off the boot by Welsh. Now a chance. McLeod running away from goal, looks back over the shoulder and misses. Not by much. Good work by Welsh. Adelaide pressing. They're down by 4 points. Under 4 minutes from quarter time. Kennelly bringing it again. Short to Barry. Back to Kennelly.
Yeah, looked like he said, no, we weren't ready, start again.
Nothing on that side of the ground. Kennelly's got a problem now. Barry comes back to the square. Crowd get a little restless with this. Haven't seen it before, but don't like it. Barry, a couple of bounces, running up towards centre half back. Still he goes. Racked with indecision, Barry. Almost dacked as well. Dacked with indecision. Away comes Bevan. Kicks it out towards the wing. Out of bounds on the fall. Well, don't put that in the time capsule.
That had a fair bit of crazy horse about it. That
He actually said in an interview about a year ago, Leo Barry, that he runs like Jeff Thompson bowled, quick, but he's not quite sure where it's going. From the ball in, Kirk. Nice palm down by Jolly. Good to see him back after going off with injury. Hall! Hands not quite strong enough, were they?
too high.
Okay.
Got a swat over the shoulder here. Well, Big Ben Rutten started very well on Barry Hall. Still doing a reasonable job on him. He's coughed up 2 free kicks. Watch for the second swat. There you go. Left arm of Nathan Bassett. So it wasn't Rutten's indiscretion. Yeah, that's a free.
Well, he would have marked it had not the high contact been made. So either way, it's the right decision. And the Swans a chance after being down for about 10 or so minutes in this opening term. They go in with a lead close to a couple of goals. Barry Hall hasn't got one yet. Has hit the post. Low trajectory drop. Punt. And he sneaks it in.
Robbo.
Goals for the season, including 5 last week. His best effort against Adelaide, 4 round 15 of last season. Biglands taps it down, intended for Edwards. He goes again. Diving on top of the football in there, I think it's Bevan.
I think you got to look
It is, and he's holding the ball.
You got to look at Barry on the close-up there as well, Dennis, and he had the GPS, the blue tapes around the shoulders. He did 14 Ks last week as a centre forward.
John Cock inside the forward 50. Here's Crouch, headed for the boundary line, gains about 10 metres with a hand pass. It goes out.
That'll be interesting to find out, though. 14 Ks on a normal-sized ground such as the Gabba. Different dimensions here at the SCG. It'll be interesting at the end of the game during the week to find out just how far Barry runs on his home turf. Different shaped ground, whether he stays closer to goal, whether he does more than 14 or less.
What's that tell us, though, Derm? It's thrown in. Jolly backhands it down. Kirk, we're setting him for the Melbourne Cup. Welsh knocks it inside the forward 50. Skipworth, advantage is paid. Goes to McLeod, who kicks the goal. Well done, Crows.
Freo to Adelaide for Chris Groom. And the Crows will be pretty happy with that trade. A lot of people stopped. McLeod and Skipworth kept going. They say play to the whistle, but you shouldn't always. Bounce to restart it. Rashudo through traffic as he loves to. Caught Spriggs. He can't break free. And speaking of running, Spriggs won all the pre-season runs. Middle distance, long distance sprints, and yet couldn't get a game in Sydney's round 1 team. So it's not all about running.
Knocked down, but only as far as John Cock. This is Bolton from 60 metres out, though. Sends the Swans deep into the heart of their attacking zone. Bevan couldn't control it. Comes to O'Loughlin. Back to Bolton once more. Lines up. That's a good kick. Hit the post. Halfway up.
He kicked it from about 52 as well.
Something going on with the planets. There was 8 balls hit the post last night in the Port Adelaide Carlton game.
Was it 6 by Carlton too?
John Cock to himself. Straight down the corridor. 90 seconds remaining to quarter time. And that's a brilliant mark, Ben Hudson. Hands off, Matner. We said just about best on ground of the showdown last week. That is a super launch. Magnificent goal. Ben Hudson's goal. Awesome.
Well, I've made the call before the game, Twino, that he, along with Goodwin and Rashudo, inside forward 50 penetrations, they're all top 10 in the league, the 3 of them. You can't get better penetration inside 50 than actually kicking a goal with it as well. He's a monster kick on the run, isn't he? That's inside the centre square and well inside the centre square. It just doesn't trickle through the open goal face. Goes through above anyone who would have put their hands up on the line.
Well, that 22-year-old from Sturt is becoming a very good player. Set the tone for tackles last week, and now putting amongst the goals as well. Bolton dragged down. Jolly to Kirk. Goes out wide. Goods leads in the race. McGregor content to stay off him initially. As he runs to the left side, corrals him, but not before he comes back to Kirk. Forward of the wing, chips intended for Davis, and that's a very good grab. Davis will kick from about 45. Forced him back to the middle, but Kirk was free. And Davis was on the move very early, as that picture indicates.
And Dowdy was very good last week, Dennis. Started on Buchanan this first quarter. Buchanan went out to the wing. So Dowdy's moved over onto Nick Davis. And you would think, given a bit of space, Nick Davis is going to give him some problems above the head. Let's have a look at his possibility here. 63% from this position on the ground.
Grew up barracking for Sydney. He's missed everything. The mark is taken in the opposite pocket by Hudson.
The Crows just need to stop turning it over here. They haven't got time to score, you wouldn't think. Goodwin out in the direction of Van Burle. They turn it over. The siren beats Spriggs. But the Crows, after it looked like they might go into quarter time down by 10 points, been able to claw their way back to the lead. And at quarter time here in bright sunshine, 26-degree temperatures at the Sydney Cricket.
As Dennis Committee stands on the mark again.
We still like him, but we got it. I do that for social gatherings, parties, stand on the mark. In fact, I do it for darts and handguns as well, but it costs more.
Ty Kennelly to Leo Barry in the back pocket.
They set up down the line here. He's going to have to look to go very short or sideways.
Well, Kirk provides one lead. That's ignored. It's only a short option you can see on the left there. Still a short option, and it's Jude Bolton now to Kirk, who through Matner going to him was free. Back to Bolton. Back to Barry. Back into trouble.
Won't get around
McLeod's got him, but he goes to Dempster. Playing just his second game, Sean Dempster goes wide. Davis held up well by Doughty. Wants to play on and go long. Jolly all thumped clear of him. Riley content to take it out of play in the end, and we'll get a ball in.
See how Ben Hudson, he's been improved as a player with this new rucking rule. Doesn't jump high. Had to sit on Jolly then, but he's barely got off the ground, but he's been very good when he can push and shove.
Shirley comes over the top and thumps it. Back goes Bolton. Oh, put the head down. We'll get a free kick. Well, he put his head in harm's way. Advantage is paid. Kennelly goes to Williams, quiet by his standards, towards Ablett, arriving quickly. John Cock, Riley almost through, dropped it. Williams, upended by John Cock. In goes Kirk, to be taken high. He's in the free kick. Williams is gone, yes.
Popped his shoulder.
Still out of the socket. Is it still out of the socket, Derm?
Can't tell from this angle, but I know Paul Williams, and I've played footy with him. This is a big tackle. Yep. Watch it when he hits the ground.
Oh.
I know he's got a really good pain tolerance, and he is really sore, and he's in big trouble.
He was driven down by John Cock.
I would hazard a guess that that could be a collarbone. He drove him into the ground. Oh, he said, don't touch it. I reckon that could be a collarbone just taken apart there. That's unfortunate for Paul Williams.
Barry Hall on the lead, and maybe stunned by the loss of a teammate. The ball uncharacteristically bounces off his chest. So Paul Williams, 10 seasons at Collingwood for 189 games, playing 279th game this afternoon.
There was no delayed reaction. He went straight for it.
From the ball up, Rashudo on hands and knees is caught. He's got it under him, and the umpire said ball.
And none of the Crows went to him. It was a perfectly legitimate tackle, but Mel Michael might have gone up to him and bumped him on the way off the ground.
Don't start.
Oh, boy, Kirk.
No, but he ran up the white flag then. He was making a beeline straight for the boundary, and he was left alone.
He wasn't running back to position, Dylan.
No,
He wasn't playing on that wing.
No, he was in trouble if he did run back out the other way.
Spriggs.
That is sad, though.
The line-up to give Sydney back the lead. Played 6 minutes, second term. They're down by 2 points. Starts it right, leaves it right, it's all wrong. And only a behind the difference.
Thought I might have got a bigger bite out of you then, Dennis.
No. Mind you, it could have been the beginning of the end there.
Have a look at him. Yeah, he's touched, that's the AC he's done. He's probably separated his AC, which I think every footballer does it in their career at some stage, but that was a...
Like taking away a Rob Wheeler's bowl of food. That was pushing on that spot at the wrong time.
Here's Tawney in the back pocket. Henschel comes on a lead, marks at centre-half back. Important player for Sydney is Paul Williams.
Yep. Hard runner, hard tackler.
Henschel.
That's play on.
Told to play on now. Nothing much has improved upfield, or has it? Rashudo offers a lead and juggles the mark close to the boundary line.
We saw him cough up one on the forward flank, on the back flank before, and there was a double take then.
That's a bad kick. Bassett back to Rashudo, hugs the boundary line. Perry, long kick inside the forward 50. Welsh is outnumbered. Dempster floats over the top, gets a fist on it, and thumps it defiantly across the boundary.
And this will be a great lesson for people watching. Mark Rashudo, we've seen him double grab at a lot of the footy today, but you watch for a bloke whose hands are not working, you watch just how many times he gives himself the opportunity to win it.
Hudson reaches over the top, knocks it down. Taken high was Begley. Will he get a free kick? Yes, the umpire pointing the wrong way. No, what's he doing, the umpire? Begley's going the wrong way. It was a hard knock.
Troy Pennell signalled the wrong way there.
Most sports have got a guy they call wrong way something. Umpire Pennell hoping he doesn't become wrong way Pennell. Early days, we can't do that to him. Begley didn't help him.
Begley was just doing as he was told.
That's right. That's obedience. Sit. Begley comes in and kicks a goal. Beauty.
Ball plays 27. Hudson to do the ruck work again against Jolly. Hudson appeared to get the palm down. Kirk got the takeaway though. It was more important. John Cox slapped it on the Tawney. Danger here. Bevan caught. Good tackle. Dispossessed. John Cox. Tawney. Barry Hall tried to chase him down. Couldn't get there. Chip kick. Goods gets back. Good contest against Henschel. No.
He got hands on the footy.
Bad contest against Henschel.
Eyes on the footy, hands on the footy. He's got a case to argue there.
Henschel. Short one. Here's Begley. Plays it off immediately. McLeod in 2 minds. Goes back to Begley. Through the centre square. High ball towards full forward. Coming up Welsh. Well, he wanted it most. A few players hung back. Not Welsh.
There's Goods, eyes on the ball, and the only one to touch it.
Can't do more than that.
No.
That is a tough call.
Yep. Nonetheless, the Crows are playing the better footy here, and the Swans, I wouldn't say they're in danger, but there appears to be a window of opportunity here for the Crows to get what we could even say a mini break.
So Welsh. 35 metres out, directly in front, but he's got it.
15 points.
Need to win some footy here, the Swans.
Ball in the ruck now against Hudson. It takes it out of the air, got away with it in the end, but couldn't find a teammate with a knockdown. Maxfield to Goods. He might go it alone. Just got a handball. Ablett, kick around the body. Goal! There's a bit of uncle in that one.
Down from the major break. Certainly needed that goal, and Goods was very strong across half forward. Measured the hand pass to the voice. Hudson slaps it down. Taken now by Skipworth. For a few players and kicks inside the 50, and Perry's taken the mark. So it could be a very quick exchange of goals. 3 in the space of a minute and a half if he kicks truly. Perry would be about 35 metres out. Slight angle. Skipworth has been handy. We talked about him last week. Dropped a mark he should have taken, but could have been a few reasons for that. He's responded strongly last week and again this afternoon as Perry misses to the right-hand side. Didn't take much time over it. There's O'Loughlin. Good return for him this afternoon. 2 goals so far.
Dempster entrusted with the kick-in from full-back. And he signals long. Father-son selection. Been on the list 3 years now. Game number 2. Long kick. Ball's direction. Thumb clear of him. Rashudo. He wanted it to be hard. It was a little easy, the collection in the end. Skipworth, Rashudo, Perry, Rashudo. But shepherded by Perry. Allowed Rashudo some time. 2-on-1 for McGregor. Ball thumped down. Bevan. Wrapped up by Edwards. McGregor. Barry. Dempster bumped off it. Well played. In fact, there's a free kick. It'll go to Barry. I think he was held a little longer than the umpire liked.
Gee, they worked very hard, the Adelaide Crows forwards then. And, well, they had less numbers around the ball then. Let's have a look at this. Didn't really want to make a connection there.
Meanwhile, back in the game, Dempster, long kick, deep into attack from half-back. John Cock with a problem, bounced away from him, slapped out of there by Begley. Going to ground was Bassett, charging through was Goodwin. In trouble, Rashudo. Gang tackle, taken down. And the umpire will ball it up. Working double time there, the Adelaide Crows.
Started to find a bit of it in the last couple of minutes, though, Mark Rashudo. Didn't even flinch, young Bevan. Just gets him on the back of the shoulder in the end.
Paul. Bassett at close quarters to Doughty. Henschel got through, heads for the boundary line. And pitches just inside and goes out about 60 metres from Sydney's attacking goal. It was centimetre perfect.
Well, you weren't saying it anymore.
You were looking at me. I knew it had to come. So a boundary throw in. I'm just weaning myself off it because it's pathetic. No, it's not. What am I saying?
There's the whole book in it. What are you talking about?
That's right.
Buchanan couldn't get the kick away, and they might get another ball up just outside attacking 50. 41 plays 33. Last man up, Matthews, hands the ball over. As you can see there, Adelaide's defence pretty good this year. Bigland's in the ruck, but he knocks it down to Kirk. He was heading to the boundary side, but Kirk was waiting for it, and Henschel through traffic nicely. He takes out the driver. He goes for distance, and he hits the fairway bar away. Matner gets away from Maxfield initially, but he's corralled. Around the body inside 50, Perry. One hand to it, not the second. Craig Bolton the spoil. Crouch.
Oh.
Now that looked a little high, but the umpire from a different angle said no. And we'll get a ball up just outside attacking 50.
From tennis to Perry. Crouch turned in that direction, but was a bit stiff. There's the bounce. Ball beaten by Biglands. Kirk, to his own advantage, runs onto it. Looping hand pass over the top. Releases Ablett away.
But just 4 votes last year for Adam Goods. Margin back to 2 points.
Yeah, I don't think he would have polled a vote after he hurt his knee and came back after. He was a bit limited.
Bad season. Ball kicked off the deck. Bassett socketed back again. Thompson. In fact, Thompson and Biglands left it for each other. Just too kind in the end. Begley. Doughty. To the open side to Edwards. Andy's away. Looks up. Sees the pass options. Rashudo. Bumped off it well by Barry. Bumped him at the right time. Show of strength, Spriggs. His kick not so good. Tawny's attempt at mark, not so good either. Caught by Keefe. Umpire said got the hand away just in time. Bevan around the body, bouncing ball towards half forward. Crows or the boundary line will do them. And we'll get a ball in 50 metres from the Sydney goal. Jason McCartney on the boundary.
Yeah, Dwayne, what's happened now? Mark Rashudo hasn't gone off the ground for his mid-quarter break. He's actually resting at full forward, so he's well matched up by Leo Barry down there.
Boundary throw in. Bigland's in front. Jolly tries to get past him. Biglands knocks it down and goes after it. Finds it close to the boundary. Jolly hot on his heels. Taken higher as Spriggs, who will get the free kick.
That's the third one we've seen this afternoon. Just a gentle hand that went over the shoulder, but the umpires are paying it too high.
Spriggs to the middle. Kirk just forward of the wing. Looks inside the 50. Won't carry the goods. Bounces onto his boot. Comes away towards Bevan. Back to Kirk. Kirk right on the 50. Measures the kick down towards full forward. Paul kicked out of the contest. Knocked it goalward though. Socket off the ground by Goods. Right across the face. Rutten gets back. Hand passes to Matner. Matner in turn to Riley. Running hard is Welsh. Riley thinks about it. Now he goes in that direction. Step for step is Bolton. Oh, that's a good grab. Well done. Bolton was there.
What a beautiful kick, though. Didn't make him break stride, and Bolton gave him all the pressure in the world.
He was right there, wasn't he? Step for step, Bolton, but Welsh enjoying his footy at the moment and getting plenty of it. Rather untidy kick, but Tawney makes it look okay. Takes the mark on his chest. Coming off 21 possessions last week. Great return by the former Tiger.
He was on this back flank over here about 30 seconds ago, Tawney competing. So he's run 120 metres to receive this ball.
Not much on long. Biglands offers short. He goes towards Biglands. Don't like the payoff there for them though. Off hands. Ball comes away. Spots Matthews. Jolly is cruising past. Maybe it would have been better for Jolly to mark and give it to Matthews. Matters not. Matthews kicks up towards the wing. Two Crows here to one Swan. Taken behind by Edwards to Matner, who thinks about going. Now he wants to go. Plenty of support to the middle. Downey back to Matner. Across the ground to Rutten.
Looks about 30 metres in front of him. Sees Rashudo on the move. Can't bring the mark down. McLeod. Rashudo's going to get a free here.
Yeah, that's in the back.
Push.
The umpires have been consistent about that. There are two hands into the back of the shoulder blades, I think, here of Root. Let's have a look at it. And this is the spoil. There, one low, one high over the shoulder, but it definitely pushed him and imbalanced him.
Game number 266. Home and away games, that is, for Mark Rashudo, who should break the Crows games record by the season's end. 15 away from that. Well, and with Ben Hart still out injured.
43% shooting from this range, Mark Rashudo, unless there's something definitely better for his team in terms of a short pass. You know Rue's not going to die wondering here.
We've ticked into time on second term. We've played 21 minutes.
Holds the ball fairly flat for a drop punt.
They lead by 2 points. The Sydney crowd told the story. Off the boot was never a chance and hasn't even scraped in for a score.
That 43% goes south.
Yep.
2 points the margin. Crows on top. They bring it out. This is Kennelly. Got it from Bolton up towards the wing. Clever by Buchanan. Leads back in the race, but closing quickly was McLeod, and he fumbled. And it goes out of bounds. Buchanan cleared a path for himself, but he didn't count on the closing speed of McLeod. Boundary throw in. Look at that bright sky as a backdrop. Cloudless. Biglands knocks it down. Matthews slung. Held too long in the tackle. It'll come back to Matthews. Right on the wing. Cool lead at half-time. Anyone's guess. Under 5 minutes to the break. Matthews across the ground. O'Keefe inside the centre square. Goes for distance long. Nicks in from the side. Rutten did pretty well. And the ball across the line for a behind. So a point the difference now.
Gee, Nick's lost Tawney very easily then. If it wasn't for Rutten, Barry Hall actually took Rutten to the goal square. Would have had him done.
Turning into a good defender, Ben Rutten. He kicked goals with his first 3 kicks in AFL football. He's now playing game number 15 and hasn't added to those 3 goals that he kicked. Big fly and a good mark taken by Jolly. Hand off to Matthews, long to the goal square. Lachlan edged out of it. Was it touch or was it a goal? 6-pointer.
I don't think he does touch it. It's very close though, but he goes back indicating that he did long before the ball crossed the line.
He was still a chance to get it on the second time, but he already started clapping his hands, saying, I've touched it, I've touched it. A lot of Steve Silvani about that.
Oh, amazing. It's like finding the bones of a T-Rex clutching a 7-9. Unusual. Away comes Davis, goes down towards half forward. Here's Hall. He's about 60 metres out, back to the middle. Davis has got it again. He'll need counselling, I think, tonight, Bassett. Upset about a number of things. He's in the contest again. He'll be upset if he doesn't get a free. In the back. He's got one. Yes. It's coming back to Bassett. Not a laughing matter as far as the Crows are concerned, because Sydney are in front.
You would love to call a game where Bassett was playing on Matty Richardson, I've got the feeling, Dennis.
Oh, there'd be a lot of passion, a lot of intrigue, pathos, drama. You name it. Goodwin comes away up towards the wing. Running hard is Bolton. It runs away from him and goes across the line. So approaching half-time. Good game of football. Vital game of football for the aspirations of both these clubs. Sydney lead it by 5 points. A lot to look forward to. Hudson in front of Goods. Neither ruckman touched the ball. Taken by Goodwin, who was taken down. And the umpire, no alternative but to ball it up.
Neil Craig always calm, always.
And he rarely loses it. Shows most emotion once the final siren's gone. He did last week.
Certainly did. And in this heat, there will be a lot of interchanges, you would think. From the ball up, we get another ball up.
It makes 15 changes a quarter. Neil Craig has opted for Graham Johncock to be the loose man in defence, give them a bit of pace out of the back line running forward. Matty Nix as a half forward, getting picked up by Tawney, then goes to try and tag Johncock. So we've got a 2-on-1 down there.
Well, they've virtually had 30 interchanges to this point of the game. Sydney, 29 of them to Adelaide's 15. Good handoff to Goods. Long kick from the goal square. Jolly, ball thumped clear of him. Well played by Henschel. And we'll get a ball in.
2 more changes about to be affected by the Swans. Ablett comes off. Buchanan comes off.
Make that 31.
Oh, sorry, goes on.
Interchanges for the half.
Sprigs off.
Forward pocket. Barry Hall to do the ruck work here against Ben Rutten.
Big back.
Big push under the ball too. Skipworth gave to Johncock. He's got Begley or Van Berlo. He goes Begley. Van Berlo calls for it longer. In fact, he shepherds in the end. Begley has a couple of bounces. Runs into the space Van Berlo made. Thompson looks up. Hopes for Perry. Ball in the direction of him, but he had Craig Bolton in the way and he made him earn it.
This is Dempster. Couple of bounces to centre half back. Still he runs.
Got good pace.
Yes. Past the centre circles. Penetrating kick deep into attack. Coming across is Jolly. And closer 10 to Henschel. Neither touch the football. It bounces out of bounds. Left ball forward for the Swans, who are looking better now. Up until about 5 minutes ago, Adelaide looking the better team. Now Sydney superior. Making a run for the half-time lead.
Turns into a bit of circle work on this ground, doesn't it? You take it in one side, if the opposition win it, they take it out the other and go the length of the ground. The same happens again.
Thompson's kick smothered. Davis just misses. Quick reflexes by Nick Davis onto the loose football after a good smother. Forced it loose. Johncock to Bassett. Bassett's away. Goes down towards half forward into the path of McLeod. He ran hard, took the mark. He's about 75 metres from goal. Rashudo moves towards the middle. That's the direction the kick takes. He didn't count there on Goods though. Able to knock it away nevertheless, Rashudo. taken by Skipworth, hand passes down towards full forward. Perry's got it, surrounded by Swans, feeds it out. It's a hot football. Van Berlo went back to Rashudo, taken by Dempster, gets it to Kirk over the top. Chance for O'Keefe, peels off half back, beats Doughty. Now a chance for the Swans, long penetrating kick. O'Loughlin behind, that should be a free kick. It is, from the crowd, happy with that. But for a moment thought they weren't going to get it, and they were thinking back to Goods.
Did very well though, Graham Johncock. That's just about as good as he could do, but he's held him up had he not.
Yeah, unlike Goods though, Johncock not looking back at the footy.
Yeah.
Different set of circumstances. So O'Loughlin a chance to make it 3 before half-time. He'll kick from 55 metres out. This one not beyond him. He'll take his best effort. O'Loughlin, narrow all the way, out of bounds on the full.
That match ball, as we said, Dermot, it's not the same as the training ball, is it? It's obviously a different shape. Not quite the same. Begley. And they wouldn't want to turn it over here, Adelaide. Maybe not enough time for them to score. Henschel holds it up and then goes wide. Van Berlo on the wing takes the mark. Maybe. They'd need to get it quickly, but no, time elapses, and with the ball in Nathan Van Berlo's hands, we hear the siren. And at half-time here, we've got an intriguing contest between the 4th and 5th sides on the AFL ladder. It may be Sydney's home game, but Adelaide have got a good record here, and we look forward to a big second half. But with Sydney in front, has the long break, 7-5-47. They're 6 points up.
Kirk lays it off to Bolton, across to Davis.
He looks up, sees Matthews, gives it to him now, and they might be away through the middle here. Looping handball over the top is good to Dempster. His handball not so good. A mixed Maxfield got Matner. Dempster makes amends to Crouch. He can't find his target. Maxfield caught by 2, and that's a double containment tackle.
There is a bit of overuse in that last 15 seconds. Trying to put your teammate into perfect placement to get a kick away. And all that was required in reality was just get the ball moving out of the danger zone.
Buchanan, Bevan and Ball, the only men that can come back on. Williams, that's a high bump. And the umpire will bring that back perhaps. No, play on advantage. So the player still down. Matner gives to McLeod. This is his forte from 45. That's what Andrew McLeod does. Adelaide back in town.
We're here in Melbourne.
It's a tough cookie. He's all looking the other way at that stage, and the body's still pointing almost at the bumper. So
Elbow tucked in though from Maxfield.
Yep. He ran straight at the ball, didn't deviate to get him. He was still running straight at the ball. He knew he was going to bump, but he's still allowed to run straight at the footy.
McLeod's got 2 goals now, 8 possessions today. Best effort against Sydney, 33, round 12, 2000.
Good umpiring though too as well, Dennis. The umpire called the free kick, that's what it was, and let play on go.
Edwards. One's outside the centre square, comes back inside to the opposite side of the ground, if that'll make sense. And now McLeod. One bounce, running down towards half forward, looks inside the forward 50. Thompson. He's taken this mark virtually on the 50. Needs to clear the man on the mark, and he does. Pops it to the pocket, and Doughty.
Chase McCartney. Looks like Goodwin's coming off now.
Yeah, he's just coming off for a rest. They'll check him out now. And just with Luke Ablett, he comes off as well. He's been shadowing Goodwin. Goodwin only 5 possessions up to this stage of the game. A great effort by Ablett.
Doughty goalless this season, obviously playing in defence, but has pushed forward on this occasion. He's got nice skills. This shouldn't be beyond him. A very sharp angle. Probably keep it low, and he does, and just misses. It's a good effort from there. So the Crows back in front. It's the sort of game that would puzzle Malcolm McKerris. There are no trends, but it's tight. And it's been good. We're enjoying it.
Is that a trend in itself, though?
Well, I think so. Trendless is a trend. You're quite right. You've got me.
Nix to kick in from full back.
A bit of Edward DeBono coming into this now.
Speaking of strangeness, Nick said in the player profile this year that He has a recurring dream of being on a large 8-ball table running away from oversized balls, which is a rather strange dream for a footballer to have. Work that one out. Kennelly gives it to Spriggs, and he's caught in the tackle. It is a very green field they play on out there, but strange thing to reveal. Outside 50, bounce. Jolly. Can't really get a fly at it. Perry knocked it down. Off the hands, Hudson took possession. Rolled it inside 50. No one could take possession, and we'll get a ball in the pockets. A little lull at the moment, but maybe the calm before the storm. 3 points the margin. Adelaide back in front. They were in front at quarter time by behind, and Sydney by 6 points at half time. Back into play. Perry rips it out of the air over the top. John Cock through for a behind.
Came from nowhere, Perry.
He's such a willing footballer, isn't he? Such an earnest worker. Just love to see him succeed.
Yeah, absolutely. You just know that if he was a little bit quicker hand to foot, he could be just, you know, in the next level up and could be a super player. At the moment, as you say, he's very serviceable, beautiful hands above his head, a good target to kick at.
But then he wouldn't be Perry. Here's Kennelly from left half back. Comes out very wide. Matner gathers the bouncing football. He's away. Short one to half forward Rashudo. He's marked 53 metres out. The spiral maybe.
Open goal
He's
screen
thinking
to
that
clear
way.
it.
No, he's not. He goes with a drop punt long towards full forward. Going back is Dempster. Good call, Durham. The square was open. Rashudo sensed it. Immediately went for it. Paul Roos coming off a terrific victory last week. All seemed lost, and suddenly they got up. So Neil Craig as well. That came really after half-time, never in doubt. He had the easier day.
It's been a while since Sydney have won a contest here. Did Nix get a touch on it? Yes. Yeah, it's been a while since the Swannies have won a contest. Be 3 or 4 minutes here.
Boundary throw in. Yes, they're sluggish to start this second half. As we said, warm day, temperature about 23 degrees still. Jolly directs it down. Henschel wrapped up in a tackle immediately and slung down by Goods in a bounce about 35 metres out from goal.
Bevan warming up. Also Ball perhaps come back on for the Swans, and they have been rotating them in this warm weather. Spriggs twists out of trouble to Davis. Got a couple running either side. Matthews one way, Buchanan the other way. They both get used. In fact, they give it back again, and it fooled him. McLeod ties it up. Turnover. Welsh. Thompson thinks about going inboard. Does with a pass to Riley. He muffs it. Mops up his own mess. Tawney. Now they can load up here. They've got the numbers running. Matner, the long goal in the first half. Perry the target. One grab, not the second. Rashudo uses some leg strength. Can't gather it though. Still alive though. Ball out of play. And we'll get a ball in forward pocket for the Adelaide Crows, who lead 52 to 47. Who've played 12 minutes. They've got roughly that to come.
Boundary throw in. Hudson works against Jolly. Hudson decisively down to Riley. Missed it on the way down. On his knees, Rashudo. John Cock is claimed by Nix and bulldogged to the ground. Ball up.
With interest, you see in this third quarter, Brett Kirk, who was so good in the second quarter, he's now got Tyson Edwards running around after him.
Hudson goes after his own ball. Emerging with it, Bolton to Kirk. Kirk kicks it up towards the wing. Doughty had the run on the contest, didn't fly. Matner knocked it forward. Dempster running out of space, trying to keep it alive. Boundary throw it in the shadows.
Interesting too that Nick Davis was taken off straight after muffing up that handball receive on the back flank.
Crows by 5 points. Jolly battles Hudson. Matthews taken down by Skipworth. Holding the ball, says the umpire. Well, he was stiff because Skipworth had an arm. There was nothing really Matthews could do, and there's no 50.
So Hayden Skipworth, game number 21.
A lot of space to lead straight at the ball kicker here.
Rashudo leads straight at the ball kicker, and it's just over his head, close to the boundary line. Welsh will try to keep it in. Kennelly kept it in the end. Welsh conceded that he was going to take it out. Spriggs, Craig Bolton, Skipworth, who plays for the opposition, of course. Riley, back to the pocket for Welsh, decides not to go on, centres the ball, Thompson. Whoa, in 2 minds.
When Welsh took that mark, you saw Mark Rashudo put the open palms up towards him and say, stop, wait. But he did see Thompson in the corridor all by himself. Watch here. He might catch a glimpse of the route. No, he's just there now. He's still got the hands up. That's too good an opportunity to turn up there to Thompson in the corridor.
Hasn't kicked a goal for Adelaide yet. 39 games for the Demons. Has been a good pickup for the Adelaide Crows. No angle to contend with, and extends the lead with an arrow straight over the goal umpire's hat.
Increased their margin. Interesting, Thompson came back a long way from the man on the mark. You might remember last week, he kicked twice into the man on the mark. Spent a bit of time thinking about that this week with the coaches. Made sure he cleared the man on the mark, Bevan, by a fair margin. And again, it's a Crows ball out of the middle. Skipworth has been influential. Looks down towards half forward. Here comes Perry, our man, and he's taken the mark.
Big Pezza.
Low down, the former Royal from East Perth has this football right on the 50.
I was wondering why you loved him then.
Ah, West Perth. If only you knew the history between those two clubs, dear.
Oh, I just thought Perth.
Oh, okay.
He's a ripping bloke. They had the fortunate opportunity to speak to him. A great fella.
He's a 50% chance from here.
I reckon that's inflating it somewhat.
No, we've done the research, trust me. There's a government grant on that. Here comes Perry. What did we tell you? It's a goal. A goal from 50, his second. Crows on a roll.
Convincing, but they don't give you extra points for making it pretty.
No, she goes down as a 6-pointer, Dwayne.
And that goal has given Adelaide the biggest lead of the game so far. 17-point margin. Biglands flies in the ruck, takes it away in the end, kicks to Rashudo, can't bring the mark down. Kennelly through traffic, handball a little astray, finds Goodwin. He's got his faculties back and he's back on. Craig Bolton can't break free, it's under him. They sometimes like to pay those, he got it out just in time. Ablett, who he spots Buchanan free on the wing, and they are away here with some space. Spearing pass, Goods traps it nicely, breaks free, wobbles it, O'Keefe, open goal! They're on the way back!
And they get the goal.
It was the first then.
Yep.
They're better than a goal every 2 times they kick a goal. Inside 50, that is.
And on this ground too, which is even more surprising. And the factor that in. 11 points the difference. Jolly goes up, trying to tap it down, comes back. In fact, it's Ball who's in there. He claims it. And the umpire wants it.
There you go, inside 50s this term. Swans 2. They must have sneaked another one while we weren't watching. 2-13.
Our statistician, who's doing a Nathan Bassett.
He's giving us everything.
His head. He can't believe it. Biglands down towards the forward pocket. Well, Perry kept it alive. Did it come off Dempster's boot?
Yes. Yes, the umpire's called it.
Which one? The boundary umpire is back closer to us than he was to the decision. The goal umpy,
Troy Pennell,
and the central umpire were on the spot. Anyway, Skipworth's got the football.
Field umpire Troy Pennell called that one.
Dempster is stiff. Skipworth, meantime, more supple. What will he do here? To the outside of the boot, the banana, the check side. Let's call it the check side. South Australia celebrates. Terrific goal.
Everybody at home, was this out of bounds on the full?
It's the foot of Dempster. Hits it, no doubt about that.
Lucky.
Was
Lucky.
it flicking the grass top on the way through?
Who called it, more importantly?
The goal umpire and the field umpire, the boundary umpire, had nothing to do with it.
I don't know.
Wiping his hands clean.
I don't know.
Okay. Ball up in the middle. We won't have to worry in a couple of years because we'll have the third umpire. You will decide, Dennis, in a couple of years whether that's a goal or not.
So the boundary umpire gave us the Sergeant Schultz.
I know.
Nothing.
Kirk from the middle. 70 plays 53. We've ticked into time on third term. Kirk goes long. and relatively high, and a good grab on 50 by Davis. Now he may be within range. All depends on that breeze. What's the breeze like down there, Jason?
Look, there's a slight breeze favouring the right of screen, but as we know with Nick Davis, he's a very good kick at goal, so he should travel the distance okay here.
21 goals from his 12 games last year. Lines up. It's got the carry, but not the accuracy. Only a behind.
He's legitimately lining up in the forward line, Nick Davis, but once the ball's bounced, has for the majority of this game so far to date, floated down into the back line and become a loose man player. So even though he does kick goals, a lot of people would say, gee, he should kick more with his talent. But you can't kick him if you're down 100 metres away at the other end.
McLeod to bring it in then. Very important goal, that last one. A lucky one. McLeod straight up the middle. Pushed in the back was Biglands, but the mark to stand to Hall. Davis is on for the short pass. Hall can't get back quickly enough.
Hasn't seen him.
Hall inside the centre square goes looking for O'Loughlin. A couple of throws up. It falls to O'Loughlin behind the pack. Tried to get it across to O'Keefe. Chopped off by Riley. Well played. To Henshaw. Downey wants it now. Comes to him. Downey at right half back. In the shadow. Running hard is Goodwin. Downey told to play on. Edwards in trouble. Run down. Just got the handball away. Riley in the pincer movement. Buchanan got across. Has got the football. Tried to go over the shoulder to Davis. Missed him. Biglands. Bit of a fumble. The touch of a welder. Gets the hand pass away. Tawney has the bounce. Runs up to centre half back. Kicks to half forward. Nicks from behind. Didn't touch the football. Skipworth. Another chance for him. Tries to shrug the tackle. Couldn't. Gives it to Perry. Across to Welsh. Welsh bounces it down towards full forward. John Cox stops it. Well, it was a bit clumsy. It bounces towards the boundary. He emerges with a football and has a shot and misses to the near side.
Graham Johncock does have that cracker-esque ability to, once he hits the ground, to bounce back up so very, very quickly. Gets to his feet exceptionally fast.
Took the most marks of any Adelaide player last year, which is somewhat of a surprise. Short kick. Barry. About to get caught. Gets it away. Kirk. Barry, the 1-2 works perfectly. In fact, the 1-2-3-4. To Ablett, back to Leo Barry. O'Keefe. Held up by McLeod. Looks inside 50. Has Jude Bolton if he wants him. Doesn't want him. O'Loughlin calls for it. Hall calls for it. It's over their heads. High. Ball thumped clear. Umpire's found a free. Adelaide.
Yeah, Davis gave a little shove. Shane McInerney on the spot there gave a little shove well before the ball even got there. They just sensed something here, the Swans. They've stepped up a gear. There's that little shove on Tawney.
Tawney to Bassett. Oh, cleared him. Now they've got a problem. Matthews. Well, that was terrible as well. Davis, eventually it comes back to him. But now he's got a problem. 3 players around him. Bevan tries to charge through. Went down on one knee. Gave it back to Kirk. He was robbed of it. Edwards held it high. He was taken high as well. No free kick. Van Berlo goes in. He's over the football. Matthews over him. There was some bad football from both sides there. Initially, the pass to Bassett. Then the hand pass to Matthews.
Can't take it to Nathan Bassett. In space, simple pass, expected, clears the head.
Wide of the pack, Skipworth is taken down, held to him, crowd want ball. Nothing doing. He's had a good term, Skipworth.
Mark Rashudo still waits at centre-half forward for the Adelaide Crows. 100 metres down to the right of screen.
Almost three-quarter time. Bear in mind what the Swans did last week. They came storming home. They'll have self-belief. O'Keefe to Dempster. Dempster goes up a step down towards full forward. Henschel goes back and takes the mark on his chest. Well done, young man. Looks out wide, spots it nicely. Tawney's got it. Edwards is on. Goes in that direction. Now will it stay in? No, it won't. Boundary throw in. 2:47 remaining in the third term. 71 players, 54.
They've thrown their best at them, Adelaide, and the Sydney Swans are lifting a cog now. They've still got the best part of 3-goal break on them. But the Sydney Swans, you feel, have weathered a bit of a storm here. And as you say, Dennis, they know they can come home strong.
Biglands and Jolly go at it. Ablett caught. Umpire says he'll have it. We'll get another bounce. O'Loughlin having a rest. Game number 200 for him this afternoon. Also Game number 200 for Tyson Edwards, the two-time premiership player for the Adelaide Crows. Bounce. Ball slapped in the direction of Adelaide. He's got Jude Bolton, gets in with a handball, looks up, sees the pass option. Maxfield will line up at goal to reduce this margin.
Well, you saw there, O'Loughlin off, Maxfield on, and he literally has run straight onto the ground and did not get picked up. He was standing there for only about 10-15 seconds. He's just loitering there. And O'Loughlin's opponent just didn't think to go pick him up. Nathan Bassett, I think it might have been.
Was he loitering or making good position? You've been a bit unkind.
Both.
288 games, his 16th season, Stewie Maxfield, and has he brought it back to 11 points? You betcha!
By 11 right here, but it was more. The Crows' lead being eroded. Almost three-quarter time. Jolly goes up and slaps it wide. Matthews couldn't control it, but Jude Bolton did. Goes inside the forward 50. Goods juggles the mark. Goods wants to go on. Kicks it long down towards Hall. Hall and Rutten, and that's a clever mark, Barry Hall. The one-hander.
Well, they weathered the storm for the first 15 minutes of this quarter, and Adelaide could only, with all their forward 50 penetrations, could only get to a 17-point lead. That's been brought back to 11, and you would assume Barry Hall, with his ability to kick goals, is going to take it back inside a goal now.
Just get the feeling we're watching two clubs on the rise. They really believe in themselves. Hall ups the ante, or does he? No, he's missed. Missed to the near side. Poor effort. That would have made it very interesting. 10 points the difference. 55 seconds remaining until three-quarter time. The umpire calls for it. Centre clearance is so important today. The side that has done best in there has really gone a long way to getting on top. For 10-15 minutes, we saw that with Adelaide to start that third term. Natner's hand pass. Doughty gets through. Lays it off to the man pushing up the ground, Tawney. White is still to Riley. Riley goes to half forward on the chest of Rashudo. And that was a good grab. That ball was arriving quickly and hard. And Rashudo equally hard in the opposite direction. 55 metres out. Heads for home. Long Gunnerwood's full forward. And Perry has taken the mark 15 metres out.
Never looked like anybody else getting to the drop of that ball except for Ian Perry there. He ran back quicker than his opponent, saw the flight of the ball. Leo Barry caught, I wouldn't say, he's not napping, but he's actually watching his opponent rather than the ball. Now that ball did drop pretty steeply though, as it reached Perry.
He's kicking from 20 metres. The perfect start for the final term. He squeezes it home. His third goal.
See that play.
15-point lead now to the Crows. Biglan's to do the ruck work against Paul. Biglan's knocked it down, but to Davis. Tawney waits under this, doesn't take it. Goods, taps it to O'Keefe, lines it up for the instant reply, kicks around the body, doesn't bring it around enough. Only behind.
With interest, you can look at the way the two teams set up at the centre backs, I mean the respective forward lines. Adelaide go their six forwards on a direct line between centre half forward and the goal square. They all hug the spine, and Sydney just spread eagle, scatter them all over the place.
McLeod to himself, runs off, couple of bounces.
Boucher's quick though.
He's covered some ground, McLeod, goes to half back, goes out wide to Biglan's. He's taken the mark. Sydney have missed some opportunities late in that previous term, and again that one just moments ago. Biglan's, 7 marks. Close to the boundary, plays on. And continues around the boundary, only to see Nix take a very good defensive mark. It's coming back towards Biglan's, well, just short of him. The man who was standing his mark, Jolly, has claimed this one, midway between left half back and left centre wing. Getting plenty of advice from the crowd, who haven't been thrilled with the way the Swans have played their football this afternoon. You just sense that. Bassett misses the mark. It rebounds across to a teammate though in Rutten. He clears the zone. High up and under towards half forward. Jolly goes up, hands to it. Didn't complete the mark. John Cock did well in a tight situation. Away to Welsh. Sharp angle, goes for the kick-off line. Running back with a flight of it, Barry. That was a clever mark. Barry wasting no time. Should have taken more time. It's out of bounds on the full. Right there. So, Riley thought about going to Skipworth, who was on. Eventually comes back to Thompson outside the 50. Thompson goes for home. Long kick. There is again. Perry juggles the mark this time. A couple of metres out, but the angle will be severe, I would think.
Well, if you think of the last one, Dennis, he kicked it, he's a left footer, he kicked it with the outside of his foot, but the angle was more open, so it's going to really narrow it down. That'll play on his mind as he approaches.
He was saved by the juggle here because he's juggled it away from goal, and the angle is better than where he started. In he comes, gets his fourth. This could be a match-winning performance. Ian Perry. Goodwin hit nicely. Got it away to Riley, who was taken high, and he'll get the free kick.
Not downfield.
So Sydney have really got to find something here. They trail by 20 points. Still plenty of time. Certainly based on yesterday. Last week. They are not out of this by any stretch of the imagination. Doughty comes to Shirley. Back to McLeod. McLeod on the wing. Goes to half forward, where the mark is taken by Welsh.
He's been good since he's moved out to half forward today.
Yes, provided a target, certainly a willing one. Long towards full forward. This time Barry prevails. Favoured by the kick.
He's got O'Keefe open. Hits him with a pass and O'Keefe can run. Long high ball. Ablett's got some ground to make up. Goodwin's with him. And that's not a bad result for Goodwin. We'll get a ball in.
Just need to take some body blows here, the Sydney Swans, and reload for the last 6, 7 or 8 minutes. Last week, as we said, back from the dead, 32 points down at three-quarter time.
It ain't over till it's over. And it was after the siren that they won that game after being down the whole game. Riley to the wing. And the ball wobbles toward the boundary. And we'll get a ball in. Matthews there on screen couldn't keep it alive. So Bassett now moves to O'Loughlin, and they are the two playing out of the goal square. Nixon Johncock, the other match up inside 50. Good handoff by Bolton to Ablett. What was it towards Goods? Got the tap down on Henschel. Well crumb by Henschel. Kept his body well positioned against Goods. Goes long, under it. Big fly over the top. Nice mark from Goodwin.
I think he might have hurt his rump then when he landed. Didn't land on his feet.
He's lifted since half-time. Goodwin, forward of the wing, kicks inside the 50.
Kick.
Perry comes on the lead, chopped off by Nix. Couldn't complete the mark, though. They're under pressure. Barry gets a hand pass away. Breaking out of defence, Davis to Maxfield, across to Bevan. A runner outside. They're dangerous now. Kennelly storming through the middle of the SCG. 60 metres from goal. Goes long. It's a telling kick just out to the right. Misses by less than a metre.
It's a sign, though, Dennis. There's still plenty of run in this half-back line of the Sydney Swans.
Yes. They love that situation, don't they? All pushing up virtually a line across the ground. Here's Riley, like his game. The longer it's gone, the better he's played. Riley off his step. Play on's the call. Don't know why. Edwards in trouble. Taken by Bolton. Oh, a great tackle by Bassett. Jarred the ball loose. Riley goes to Tawney. Now they're on the outer side of the ground. Rutten Thompson is metres in the clear. It comes to Shirley. Thompson is unchecked. It's a question of accuracy. He can turn around and head for home. 48 metres out. He's kicked a goal. His second. What a beauty.
The Crows got that goal. A little flip over the top here, and the Swans had a goal, but Bassett's tackle stopped Jude Bolton's handball, and they took it away. And it comes down to those things at this point of a game when it's tight. Bolton takes it out of the middle. They've still got breath, the Swans. Hole! Just inside 50, it's going to be a tough kick. Although, as Jason McCartney said, there's not much breeze to contend with.
Just on that, Jace, will the angle be opened up for him? Is the wind going to go from his left shoulder through the right?
Yes, it should be, Dermot. I wouldn't be surprised if he creeps around a bit and opens the angle up, shot on goal himself as he comes inside that into the field of play as well.
Big kick this for Barry Hall. Only one goal so far this afternoon. Can he bring it back? Breeze, light as a thief. and they could still steal it, the Swans.
Bill Timely won it, keeps them in the contest. The margin at 19. Ample time remaining. Rucks go at it.
50 now.
Well, he's kicked 2 goals this afternoon, Scott Thompson, so he might be confident. Lines it up. It's across the face. Chance for the leapers. Stumped through. Edwards missed it on the line. Ball still alive. John Cock comes hard. He's got 3 to beat. Can't beat them all. Davis. He looks up. Not a lot to go to.
Perry
Has a
on the lead.
bounce. Now Perry makes the move for him. Barry's with him. Edged him under the contest. Matthews. Boundary line, the sanctuary. John Cock. He can't roll it home from there, surely. It's a behind, but as they say in the classics, maybe a handy one. 13 points the margin again.
Gee, that was good by Perry.
Yeah,
he was
tackle.
caught under the ball, even before the tackles, which was exceptional. Caught under the ball, knew that Leo Barry had the jump on him. He thrust back into him to take it.
We got that. Here's Welsh. 20 metres out. Comes in and slots it. The task is big for the Swans now. 6 minutes to go.
Perhaps the most important goal of the season so far for Adelaide.
Prosciutto on the ball now.
Maybe to sew it up right here.
Yep, that's a great call. You'd think if he can pop this through, that could be the game. You could actually even load up a little bit in your back line then to make sure the Swans cannot score against you, should he put this through.
And that was great by Robert Shirley. It's late in the day, it's been a hot day, but he made himself run to the far wing. You could see it was hurting every step of the journey. That exposed Doughty in the middle, and it's finished up with this man, Graham Johncock, who can kick it away. Should get the distance. Steps to the 50. Long kick, telling kick. That could be the ball game. Adelaide could be 3-1.
Swans fans, well, they probably know their football. It's a hard task from here.
What's the Lee Matthews equation? When you need to kick more goals than there is minutes left on the time clock, you know you're in trouble, or that's when the game's over.
Exactly. Hudson to Edwards. Try to confirm this victory if they get another score here at least. Nix overran it slightly. Crouch, hands and knees. And they might hold it in here.
To Tawney. Tawney chips it towards half forward. Missed by Goodwin. Got the recovery. Surrounded by Swans on one knee. Got it to Tawney.
They won the 2-on-3 there, the Adelaide boys.
Skipworth liked his game this afternoon. How many possessions have we got for Skipworth? He's had 18. Thompson on the boundary. Don't tell me.
He hasn't.
They are 3-1. He's got 3 goals. That is the icing on the cake.
And Scott Thompson
Home of the Hilltop Hoods. Here's Goodwin in the pocket.
Who are they?
Juddy's favourite Aussie, what are they? Aussie hip-hop band, that's what they are.
Oh.
Yes.
Somehow we're calling Adelaide and Sydney, and you still managed to get Juddy in there.
Well, there goes Goodwin's kick. But don't tell me. They're putting on a clinic.
Well, Simon Goodwin hasn't enjoyed the best of afternoons. Luke Ablett has done a superb job on him, but he's got better as the game wore on. Copped a big bump from Maxfield during the course of the match. And that's like lining up on the 18th after a shocking day of golf, and you whack one down the centre and par the 18th. It makes you come back with spirit next time.
injured last year and missed 12 games because of those injuries, but layer of icing.
18 goals, big return, boys. That is a big return in a game of footy. I would hazard a guess they'd be around the mid-50s for inside 50s, and 18 goals from that is a wonderful return. They have been lacklustre in the last 3 centre bounces, the Swans, when they knew it was all beyond them.
And Adelaide confounding the critics as Neil Craig comes down, 3.5 seasons as the assistant under Gary Ayres, now very much his own team, and they're doing remarkably well. Their record is 3 wins from 4 starts, and that was a narrow loss, as we said, against the West Coast Eagles. 18-12 A runaway final term over Sydney 11-13. Sydney just the 2 goals in the last quarter, and Adelaide 8. An 8-goal final term from a team that doesn't kick a lot of goals, or historically in recent seasons has not. Nathan Bassett, you beauty. Let's go down to Jason.
Comes away on this occasion with a win. A 7-goal win, Dwayne. If you had turned up here today saying the Crows win by 7, you would have got fairly good odds for that.
Well, fitness analysis is Neil Craig's specialty, and they ran this game out in the heat, and they ran it out magnificently. 8 goals in the final term, and they had Sydney on the ropes chasing the whole quarter, and this is a magnificent start for a new coach's career.
A 41-point win here to the Adelaide Crows on the road. Sydney 11-13, 79, defeated by the Adelaide Crows 18-12, 120.
Tyson Edwards victorious in his 200th game with the Adelaide Crows. They got up by 41 points, the Crows. There's a man who knows all about victory. Leighton Hewitt congratulating the Crows there on their victory today. 41 points over the Sydney Swans. Well, they certainly were mighty today at the SCG in pretty warm conditions. A 41-point victory here to the Adelaide Crows on the road. Lost 10 of their last 13 road trips. Well, they now bring home the bacon here. 18-12, 120 to the Sydney Swans. 11-13, 79 on Sunday football.
And it would be rare that a team kicks 8 goals to 2 against the Sydney Swans on their home ground. Perry kicked 4. He was there when they needed him. Ian Perry, he provided this afternoon, and a couple of times in sensational style. Thompson 3, a couple of miracle goals from him. McLeod and Welsh 2 each. And for Sydney, Barry Hall, 2 goals 3 this afternoon. O'Keefe and Goods and O'Loughlin also 2 goals each. But Barry Hall was pretty well held in the end, Dermot.
He certainly was. Ben Rutten had the job on him. Well, Ian Perry, I wonder if he's been tagged by Jason McCartney before, because we gave him the job down in the rooms right now.
Well, Ian, 4 goals. The boys upstairs were commenting on some of them weren't pretty, but they were effective, mate. You've been working on your goal kicking?
Yeah, I have been. I hope Dermy wasn't upstairs. He doesn't have too much of a kind word to say about my kicking.
Dermy was kind to you today. Certainly was.
Yeah, no, thanks, Dermy. Cheers.
Now, 11 goal kickers today. That's very impressive as well.
Yeah, I mean, we knew we had to hit them hard at the stoppages and run forward, so we were going to get those goals from the midfields running hard forward, and the way it turned out, we got a few free ones flipped out and got a couple, so it was good.
And to win here today after that sensational performance in the showdown last week was terrific.
Yeah, I mean, we came off a good performance, and so did Sydney last week. They were fantastic and very physical against Brisbane. We knew that we had to go in and be physical against them as well, especially around the ball where they beat us last time in the trial matches.
Has there been a focus on the tackling? Because the last couple of weeks the tackling's been first class.
Yeah, we definitely have been doing a bit of work and doing a bit of modelling on Marty Matney. He's a fantastic tackler, so you know it's great to have guys like that in the side that set the example.
Well done, mate. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Carts.
Jason McCartney, Ian Perry there. Well, how far can the Crows go?
Well, the way they're going at the moment, perhaps the finals isn't out of the question, but one thing about this game of ours, every Sunday we seem to get a good one, and I'm looking forward to next week already.
We're getting crackers all the time. Today, the Crows by 41 points.
He needs the ball to sit. Does so now. Just keeps it in. Squares the ball. In fact, it was Mark Johnson. Missed its target of Lloyd. Picked up by Laycock. Can he get the handball off? Here's Jason Johnson, and he misses to the near side. In fact, he's missed the lot.
Dear me. Jonathan Hay. It was a dangerous kick to Lloyd because it went to the middle of the ground, and it was a massive turnover, but John Hay missed the handball and set up 3 or 4 opportunities for Essendon, but they just couldn't kick it, Brian.
Hawthorn by 5 points. Chance to regain their composure here. Smith is away.
They can't run.
His 25th disposal of the day. Joel Smith leads all comers. Kick is wide. Barker closing, but backing back bravely. Here's Kipper Bradley.
The message out to Buddy Franklin, contest, contest. Make sure there's no uncontested marks.
Hanneman, free-flowing style of attacking footy at the moment. In the middle, the smooth-moving
Mark
McPhee.
Johnson with his own.
Goes wide, Stanton there as well. Mark Johnson calls him into the ball. And Stanton will now line up, and geez.